a very special mantra that can fill our hearts with positivity and also make us the recipients of bountifuls of God's grace, is these 3 words: thank you, God. This was the message shared by a quadriplegic lady. Quadriplegia is when 4 of your limbs are not functioning. This lady wrote about her struggle in her world-famous autobiography, Joni, the amazing story of a young lady's struggle against quadriplegia and depression. Joni was born in Baltimore. Her father was a member of the US wrestling Olympic team, and naturally she led a very outdoor life in her youth. But everything changed when she was 17 years old. She jumped into the water in Chesapeake Bay in a place where it was very shallow, and her head shattered against the floor, thereby rupturing the 4th and 5th vertebrae of her spine. The consequence was that her 4 limbs got paralyzed. She underwent 2 years of rehabilitation in the hospital. When she felt desolate, rejected by God, her faith got tested, until one day she caught a paintbrush in her mouth and began painting. That one act of positivity opened up a new phase in her life. She learned to write again with a pen in her mouth, and later on through voice recognition software, she went on to write 40 books and inspire millions on how to remain positive despite such debilitating limitations. In a radio show, she was asked what was her secret that kept her going and positive. She said, "I have learned to thank God in every situation. Just say, thank you, God." Now you may contest that and say, "Swamiji, when the going is tough, how can I thank God?" It's a matter of perspective. One North Indian poet of the 18th century, he related his own personal experience. He had been invited by the Badshah to visit the court and present his poetry, when the reality dawned upon him that he did not have a proper attire for the court. And he was then cursing the Supreme for not even bestowing a proper set of clothes to him, when there was a knock on his door. On opening, he found a disabled person whose right leg was missing and left arm was also missing. But this man was getting along. He had a crutch under his right shoulder that he was holding with his right arm to prop himself up. And he had toys that were strung around on a rope hanging from his neck. This poet looked at him and said, "Dear khilone wala, dear toy seller, what a pitiable state you are in. Do you not feel miserable about the state of your life?" The khilone wala said, "Absolutely not. I am engaged in such a wonderful activity. I have got one leg and one arm, and I am able to get around with it. And I am selling toys. I see it as an opportunity to give joy and happiness to the little ones. I have no complaints about my life. Are there any complaints in your life that I can help you with?" The poet was floored. He was complaining to the Lord about lack of a regal dress, while here was a person without an arm and a leg, and yet full of gratitude. So this attitude of gratitude does not require prerequisites. It is a manner of looking at the world. It is also something that we need to learn to cultivate. We have received so many priceless gifts from the Lord. The earth we walk upon, the sunlight with which we see, the air we breathe, and the water we drink are all bestowed by Him. In fact, it is because of Him that we exist. He brought us to life and conferred immortality to our soul. We do not pay Him any tax in return. The least we can do is acknowledge these graces and feel indebted for them. This is the attitude of gratitude.